Okay guys, all the leaves are all dry now, and as you can see they have toned down way better than they were, so they're not as bright. Still have the yellow tinge, but not like they were. Okay, the other little plants, they've toned down as well. So try and get that in focus so you can see it. Okay, so yeah, it's toned down heaps. Okay, so now back to the base. The rock has started to get darker, so now what we need to do is do another wash of black. Again, don't wipe this off, just leave it on there. And like I said before, take several washes. You can take up to 6 to do it. Usually this dries pretty quick, but today's a lot cooler than it usually is where I live, so this is taking a lot longer to dry. Okay, so as you can see, it's getting darker now. Okay, so that will dry, so we'll put that aside for a minute. Now what I've done, I've pre-mixed the moss and the mulch already. And this is what it looks like. Okay, so I've done 2 tablespoons of mulch and 6 teaspoons of the moss, ground moss, or ground forest I should say. So you've got that nice consistency there with a lot of thicker areas. This will give, once this dries too, once I add it, I'll be giving it a light wash anyway, so everything will tone down again. Alright, so how's, yep, that's starting to dry, so that's good. Okay, while that's drying, I'll do the groundwork, because it doesn't really matter if it's mixed in together. I'll just get my glue palette, add some just PVA glue, nothing major. You don't need anything overly potent for this. Old paintbrush. Okay, so all you do, get the glue, put it on. Now when you're putting the glue on, make sure you get into the edges of the material you're doing. So for example, because I've got the wrecked hole here, make sure you get right up to the, I don't know if you can see it, you get right up to the hole section, okay, because it's been in the, one is fallen from space, it's going to hit an impact, but over the years everything's going to pile up because of the weather, rain, all that sort of stuff. Okay, so don't be shy of letting the glue get right up to the top or the edges of the item that you're doing, be it a whole section or down ship or whatever, or even a destroyed droid, whatever you're doing. Okay, so get in there. Okay, now I usually give this 2 coats of glue, because the second layer will let the first layer will let the second layer adhere better and have stuff adhere to it properly. Now also when you're doing it, make sure you get the glue up towards the rock, because you'll have debris and foliage pushed up against the rock, and that again due to time and weather. And again, don't be shy of getting any glue on the item you've got on the base. Okay, it'll just give it more realism. Okay. Give your brush a good wash. Okay, now that it's got the glue on there, just get a bit of paper. Let me just get those plants out the way. Get a bit of paper, get your spoon. Now all you want to do is just grab a big pile of it and just splash it on there. Okay, push it in. Alright, you really want to get it in there. Don't be shy, don't be gentle with it, just whack it all in there. Okay, push it down. Okay. Same on this side, pack it down. Now the PVA glue will dry pretty quick too, so once you've got this stuff on there, you can actually play with it and muck around with it straight away. So just tap it. Okay, so there it is there. Alright, so we'll let that dry. Okay, and you'll have the move up towards the rock as well, which I forgot to do on this side. So you want a little bit up the top there, anywhere where the rock has almost a flat surface. Okay, you want dirt. Alright, you want a bit up here. Okay, don't make it straight or even. Lay it around. Have little areas where it's not even going to have any dirt. Because also where the dirt lands as well, you also get plants growing that dirt. Even if the dirt's only an inch thick or even half an inch thick, you'll get little plants growing it. Anywhere there's dirt, the plant will grow. Okay, so and it just gives it more realism to the base. Best idea is go outside. If you've got a bushland next to you or a forest or whatever, go outside and have a look at that. I like going to the tip. When I go to the tip, I have a look around as well, take photos, because of the equipment and rubbish that's there, for example fridges, all that sort of stuff, and they don't move stuff excuse me, they don't move stuff straight away from it. So they'll keep that area there for a month or so, and within a month you'll be amazed how quick foliage and all grow. Okay, especially grass. Okay, so yeah, just have a look outside, take photos if you have to. Okay, it shows you how everything sits in the groundwork as well, how the groundwork contours over the item. Alright, so yeah, have a bit of fun with it. Alright, so we'll let that dry for a bit longer. I'll just tap it, let everything settle in. Now the reason I'm using the paper, so anything that falls off I can pick up, put back in container, then put it away for next time. And stuff like the mulch, it's a 4 kilo bag, so that's lasted me a year and a half. Okay, stuff like the moss and that you get from hobby shops and all, that can last depending how big your diorama is. But if you mix it in with natural items like I have done here, it will last a lot longer. Okay, as I said, the forest groundwork in those little tubs I had, that's real moss in that. Okay, so here it is here. So you know that's real stuff. Lynch and moss, you know, crunched up leaves, the whole lot. So, and that's what it's all about, experimenting. Okay, years ago you never got this stuff. You'd have to go out the backyard and do it all yourself. That's how I got taught. But nowadays, the stuff they're making nowadays is unbelievable. Yes, it can be expensive, but it can last long. So if you've got something like that forest groundwork that I've got, I think I paid like $8 each little container, or $12 each little container. They'll last me, God, anything up to a year. So, you know, for $16, you can't complain. Alright, so that's enough of letting it dry on the thing. So all you do now is give your base a good tap. Okay, from all directions. Okay, now you will need to brush it off lightly from some areas. I don't want the rock having forest all over it. I do want to have some of it clear. So just get a brush, just lightly brush it off. Okay, again on the other side. So like that. So I'm really happy with the way the rocks come out as well. I'll give that one more dry brush, and then I'll, one more wash of black, and then I will come back and show you how to do the groundwork. Give it a bit more depth. So as you can see, it's got the groundwork in there. It's really looking good. It's up against the piece of hole, so the hole looks like it's sunk into the groundwork. Same up the top. Okay, at the back, I don't know if you can see that yet, up the back there. Alright, so yeah, it goes all the way through. Don't miss any areas where you can look into. So for example, underneath, fill that in with groundwork as well. Okay, alright guys, I'll be back soon and I'll show you how to do the rest of the base and the foliage. Talk to you later, bye. Okay guys, the base is all dried now, the foliage is all dried, so is the stone. Now what I want to do is give the stone a bit of a brown tinge to it, then we will highlight it. So just wet your brush, okay, just go along very lightly, okay, along the crevices. Alright, so don't worry if it gets a little too brown, that's fine, it just adds to the realism, but just try and keep it even if you are going to do it like that. Okay, now just be careful too, because if you are going to highlight with using washers, especially when you've got foliage on there, the foliage will suck out the paint, suck the paint up. Alright, so just a little bit more on this side. Okay, that's perfect the way I want it. I don't know if you can see, you can just see that. Okay, once it dries, it'll look really good. I'll let that dry. Why is that? Why that is drying? Really dilute your brown. I want this really diluted because you don't want to get rid of all the colours and all the natural colours on the ground. You just want to tone them down a little bit. Okay, so just go along with your brush. Alright, it gives it that dirty look as well. Okay, so I've just done that bit, and you can see the difference from this bit to that bit. It just gives it a bit more realistic look, especially if it's in like a forest, that kind of environment. It just gives it a more natural feel to it. Okay, once the plants go on there as well, it'll really bring it out. I've got to add some moss to the base as well. I'll show you how to do that soon as well. And like I said before guys, it's just practice. Okay, it's an individual thing as well. So for example, if there was a competition going on and we're all doing the same diorama, okay, I can guarantee you not one diorama is going to look the same, because everyone's got their own techniques, their own style, And that's fine, that's what you want. You don't want everyone being the same. Okay. So yeah, that's darkened up really good. Perfect the way I want it. Just make sure you get everywhere. Just have to keep dabbing in it in water just to keep it going. Okay, nearly done. Oh yeah, that's looking really good. Underneath the whole section. That's where it's going to be the dampest too, especially when it rains. The water's going to concentrate in that area. Okay, that's good. So as you can see, the ground's gone really damp now, so that's what I've been looking for. Now with the rock, still a little bit damp, that's fine. While that's drying, what I'll do is I'll do the moss. Now I've added some white glue down there, so this is going to be the moss. So all you do is try and grab some powdery stuff if you can. If not, no drama. So just grab it, throw it onto your base like so. Okay, I've already got white glue down there, and I'm gonna have to get another palette, I think. Yeah, I'm gonna get another palette because the glue's mixing with the brown wash. Okay, so they've got the glue. Oh, the reason I use the lids too, because I can reuse them over and over again. And I can just clean them up and wash them when I need to. Okay, so got my little stirrer. So just dab it in. You're gonna have to do this a bit. It's gonna get all clumpy and sticky, so don't worry about it. So grab all the clumps, grab them all together if you can. Now you're thinking, okay, how's he going to do moss with this? I'll show you a little trick now, if I can get all the little pieces together. Now I've seen people use green paint, then spray on powdery stuff to make the moss and all. That's fine, that's another good way of doing it. But I like it this way, I like a bit more moss on mine. Okay, so get a paintbrush, water it down. Okay, so you're going to water down the moss you've just done. Okay. Okay, then get a bit more glue, just a tiny bit. Alright, now I want to get this a bit darker, so just get a bit of, I use gunship green for this, so just dab it in there, like so. Then give it a mix. Okay, so now all you do is get your brush, get your diorama, pull a bit off and just add it to the diorama. Like so. Alright, so you can add as much as you want, as little as you want. Don't worry if a little bit of green paint gets on it, that's fine. Okay, so just, yeah, go along. Moss is gonna grow everywhere, so don't be shy about it. Okay, so it's gonna get in the corners of everything, especially where there's been rain. And when this starts to dry, you can push it down a little bit if you like. Okay, so you can you can do it now actually. Just get a toothpick, just push it in. That's how easy it is. So I'm not going to go stupid with this. I'm just going to add little bits here and there. Now the beauty thing about this too is that you can actually give this a wash once it's dry as well, to darken it if you like, or lighten it. Depends how you want to do it. It's totally up to you. So a bit on the stone, bit under here, bit underneath the stone there. Now look, you're not going to really see it, but just add it. It adds realism to it. You know you're doing the right thing, and you can see down under there, so people are going to go, oh yeah. Okay, a bit of a clump there. Underneath the girder. Okay. Bit in here, underneath the girder there. In the corner, if you can. Bit here. And just make sure when you do it, you do keep it like it is growing. It's not going to have little gaps. So it does look like the moss has taken over and is growing in that area. So for example, in between the girt teak section there, it's a bit of a gap, so you need to fill that in. Okay, get the toothpick, just push it down a little bit. Perfect. I'll do a bit more up here, and then a little bit on the little bit a little bit on the top of the hole section. This is where the toothpick comes in handy, because you can just grab it and dab it on there. Okay, like so. And I'll just do a little bit more. Get it inside the seams if you want. It's going to grow in there as well. It's damp in there. You will have a collection of dirt and crap because of the rain, the winds. Alright. Okay. And a bit in there. Okay, there you go, guys. And that is the moss. Okay, now for the stone. I'll give that a very light dry brush of medium grey. Probably only need one bit of dry brush for this. There you go. Just a very tiny bit. Just bring out the edges. Alright, now all we need to do now is add the plants.